to our channel. Ruth here, and in today's video I'd like to share with you how your thinking is keeping you from being rich. So there are three mindsets that I would like to share with you that you must break out of and break into so that you can have that breakthrough. So the first one is the I cannot do it and I don't know how to do it mentality. So we have to break out of that mindset. You know, some people say, well, you have to be confident, you have to know everything, you know, before you step into something. No. The thing is, confidence does not mean that you have to know everything. Confidence does not mean that you have to be perfect in everything, because none of us is perfect. But confidence sometimes just means you do it and you do it afraid. So the question is, well, are you going to tell yourself that you can't do it and you don't know how to do it? Or is that an excuse for you not to step out into your callings and your dreams? Because at the end of the day, the thing is this, you only have the one life to live, right? And you've got a calling. I believe each and every one of us has got a calling and a unique gift and talent that God has given us. And the thing is, if you do not use your life, if you don't live your life in a wise manner, you will waste your life away. And the question becomes, at the end of your journey, can you look back and go, you've done everything you can, you live a life of no regrets? Or are you going to be full of regrets? So don't be afraid if you don't know everything. You don't have to be fully confident. You know, instead tell yourself and say, well, I might be just good at something. It may not be perfect, but if you learn and you practice, you become better and better at what you do. So instead of saying, you know what, I can't be wealthy, I can't get out of this poverty cycle, I don't know how to, have a little bit of faith and confidence in yourself and say, you know what, I'm scared. But you know what, I want to break out. I want to learn. I want to break out of this poverty cycle. I want to be able to feel what wealth is like. I want to be able to make a difference, you know, for the next generation and the generations after me. And you know what? It's okay to be where you are. The thing is, not all of us are handed down with a silver spoon. Some of us have to, you know, really strive and become what we call a self-made. Well, I have heard of so many stories where millionaires actually, you know, they're self-made millionaires, but some of them came from nothing. You know, I listened once to a story by Ed Milet. He used to say, you know, he's worth probably $450 million now in the US. He's an entrepreneur and a motivational speaker. But he said when he first started his business, he used to struggle. Him and his wife used to live in an apartment and they didn't even have money to pay for water. And he had to go downstairs to the public shower really early in the morning in the middle of winter, and they have to actually take a cold shower and they cover for each other before the public comes, you know. But he made it. Today, you know, he lives in a huge mansion, you know, his family is set for life. And I remember, you know, for myself, I mean, I always had water, thank God. But when I first graduated from university, I moved to another locality here in Australia. And I had a huge study loan. And the thing is, it wasn't like my family was overly poor. I mean, my parents were great. They were like, well, yes, you have a loan. If you need money, you know, to eat, you can, you know, you can ask. But the thing is, I started to get into the employment sector. I was not getting paid because I was a graduate lawyer and I was, you know, an intern. So before you become a real lawyer, you have to do this thing called internship. So I was interning and I thought to myself, well, I didn't have a car because, you know, I couldn't afford to buy one. And taking the bus was $3 to go in one-way bus to work. And so what I decided to do was, you know what, I didn't have money to join the gym anyways. So I started to walk to work. So I just decided, you know what, I'm going to save $3 because $3 is going to buy me a loaf of bread for $1. And it's going to last me for the whole week. It's going to buy me a bag of oranges, which is enough fruit for the whole week. So $3 was precious to me. And you know what? I thought, I'm going to walk to work. And it wasn't because, you know, I was, you know, I just decided to do that because I wanted to save some money so that I can pay off my study loan. And, you know, thank God, finally, it's all been paid off. I'm so glad it's all been paid off. But what I'm trying to say is, you know, we don't have to have that perfect start. We just have to start somewhere, you know. And back then I didn't have a car, but now, yes, I've got a car, you know. So, yeah, so definitely don't allow your limitation of yourself, or that limited thinking, to keep you from becoming wealthy. So that's the first one. Get rid of that I can't do, I don't know attitude and that mindset. Number 2, change your mindset towards money. Now, know that money is not evil, it is not dirty, okay? Sometimes I think in our culture, whether it's cultural or religious culture, we were taught that, you know, if you want to be a righteous person, you can't have money because money is unholy. But you know, that is a lie. Even, you know, if you look at the Bible, it doesn't actually say money is the root of all evil. That's been twisted. It actually says the love of money is the love of all evil, and you cannot serve two masters, right? So really, it's how you look at money, because money can either be your God or money can be there to serve you. So why don't let money serve you? The thing is this, poverty is not great. You know, I have been to some countries where it's very, very poor. It's very poor to the point where people have no water, there's no nutrition. You know, my husband and I, we feel privileged because we get to support an orphanage in Africa. In fact, that's where my husband is from. He's from Kenya. And we are very blessed. We are here in Australia. You know, we've got a good business, we've got good jobs, but not everyone has got that privilege. So know that money is not actually evil, because if you think money is evil, you're gonna, you know, begin to, I would say, unattract money. You're not gonna be attractive towards money. But look at money as a tool that you can use to be a greater blessing to many. For example, when I was a university graduate, I had a huge loan, huge debt. I couldn't do much because, you know, I had this huge debt I had to pay off. Whereas, you know, today we're at a position where we're financially free and where it's viable. We can actually support different ministries and different mission trips. In fact, my husband, before the pandemic hit, he used to travel around the world, you know, to different places to feed, you know, the poor. He used to go and buy bread and feed the villages in Fiji. He used to go to the Philippines, you know, and just different places. So what I'm trying to say is you got to change your mindset towards money. And sometimes I think in our culture, especially where I grew up, you know, there's almost like this thing like, oh, so-and-so is a millionaire. Oh, look at the mansion they're living in. Oh, they've got it all handed down to them. Whereas us, you know, we all have to work all our lives, you know. But instead of talking bad about rich people, I think it's time for us to say, hey, you know what? Good for them. If that good thing can happen to them, maybe they've got a better head start than me. Maybe I used to have to walk to work, didn't even have money to go on a bus. But you know what? I'm going to be thankful for what I have. And one day that's going to be me. You know, I listened to this speaker once. He was pretty amazing. He said he used to ride on the bus, but his dream car was a BMW. So when the BMW would drive past him, he'll say, oh, that's my car. And when there's someone driving in that car, he'll say, oh, that's my driver. You know, he'll begin to have positive confessions. And today, my goodness, he's an author. He has sold millions and millions of books. He's definitely, and he got his dream car, which is a BMW. So definitely have the right attitude towards money. And money, if it's not your God, if you don't worship it, it can be there to serve you. It can, you know, open doors for you to bring your family to vacations so that you can, you know, create better memories with your kids. And so your kids don't have to have it so tough, you know, so that they don't have to walk to work in the middle of winter. So definitely have that change of mindset. Break out of that mindset of money is evil, you know, but instead money is there to serve you if you use it well. And number 3, Leverage community resources, because sometimes we say, well, you know, because not all of us have the privilege to, where our parents, you know, or someone will come and invest and say, you know, here's $100,000, go and start a business, right? But instead, leverage what you have. For example, in my case, at the time of recording of this video, I'm a partner in a law firm. I'm very, very blessed. But the thing that changed my life was not me being a lawyer. The thing that changed my life was actually me getting into business. And this is a couple of years ago. And when I started, I had absolutely nothing. You know, like seriously, there was no money in the bank. I was still paying off different loans and different debts. But I started somewhere. I started from my little cubicle. You know, it was a second-hand laptop and a really, really old, what we call a brick phone, you know, but that causes me to have a breakthrough because, you know, I was thinking, you know what, I don't need anything fancy to make it. I'm just going to work hard. I'm just going to learn everything I can, and I'm going to push through because one day I'll be able to live my dreams. So I want to encourage you today. There's a lot of community resources out there, you know, whether it's from your local government, you know, there are places where you can go to. I've watched documentaries about like the US. I watched this show, actually it's called Undercover Billionaire, where this man actually walks into a community center, and they actually provide free research on market research, and you can use their the library facilities on how to start a business, etc. But at the same time, there's also a lot of online resources out there. For example, even with my video, it's a free content that you can actually utilize and you can learn. But also there's so many other different speakers, there's podcasts, there's articles, there's internet resources that you can find out there that can actually cause you to become successful and cause you to break out of that poverty cycle. Now, I've got a friend, I remember, this is years ago now, probably about 10 years ago. He was working, like, you know, for a phone company, receiving a fairly comfortable wage, I would call it. But at one point, he decided to go get into his own business. Now, he decided to become a website developer. Now, the question is, did he go to an IT school? No. He learned everything through Google. He Googled his way through building a website. But he would market himself. He'll be confident and say, you know what, I might not know everything, but I know some things. So he tells people and say, well, I'm going to build you your website. I'm going to charge you, I don't know, $3,000 for it, you know. And he started to build his business. And so him and his wife, today they're working in the business. They've got like employees around the world because they utilize, you know, the smart, really, really smart technology. Techies, I call them, from India, from the Philippines, and it's replaced his income, and it's actually earned him way more money than actually having a wage. Did he know everything? Did he go to IT school? No, he didn't. So there's no excuses for us. There's so many free resources out there. I always say, if there's a will, if you're really willing to work hard for something, there is a way. And you know what? If you fail, well, if you fail, get back up. I have failed. I've tried different businesses. Some of them never made me any money, but some of them made me some really good money. Okay, so at the end of the day, you know, break out of that poverty mindset, that limited thinking, and just say, you know what, I'm gonna actually have a good attitude about it. I'm gonna celebrate others' success, and that's gonna be me one day. So I hope that today's video was helpful to you, and I hope that you too will be able to break into that dreams and visions and wealth, whatever you desire to be, whatever you desire to do. All the best to you, and thank you again for taking the time to watch our video. And last but not least, would you be so kind to hit the like and subscribe button so we can keep you motivated, and also that's going to mean the world to me. I'll see you next time. Bye.